You're listening to Blues on the Hill, you're with Baz, and I'm backstage at Bluesfest, Australia's premier blues and roots festival, with a man who has had multiple Bluesfest appearances, produced 12 albums in 12 years, received 7 Maple Blues Awards, 6 Juno nominations, tours the world playing the blues. Harry Manx, welcome to Blues on the Hill, welcome to Bluesfest.
Thanks, Baz, it's a pleasure to be on the show.
Now, my show's all about taking the blues and stretching it as far as it can go. And your music's the same. You're taking the blues to another place, fusing east and west. Tell us about that connection.
Yeah, I sort of came by that naturally. My first love was the blues when I was a kid. I bought my first record at 13, and that was Johnny Winter's Progressive Blues Experiment. I bought it simply because of that shiny guitar on the cover, and I didn't know what blues was. I took it home and I realized, hey, this is blues music. And so I slowly fell in love with it. Later on, I got a job as a sound man when I was 18 in a club in Toronto, early 70s, and we had Willie Dixon and Muddy Waters, Hound Dog Taylor, Coco Taylor, all these great acts coming through there. So I got a real education in what the blues looked like close up. I never learned any licks from these guys, but I tried to catch the spirit of it, and when I picked up my guitar, I found that I was able to channel a little bit of that spirit.
Awesome. And meeting a man in India changed your life.
That's
Tell
right.
us about that.
Yeah, later on, you know, I had a passion for India. I went there in '79 for the first time, and I stayed a year. I traveled around, and I loved it. So I decided I'd come back. I came back in '86, and I was there for the next 12 years. And 5 of those years I spent with a guy named Vishwa Mohan Bhatt in Jaipur in Rajasthan, and he played the slide guitar, a very beautiful slide guitar. He calls it the Veena, and it's a 20-string slide guitar. And man, he was just brilliant. The first moment I heard him strum that thing, I was gone. I was on his doorstep, and he couldn't get rid of me for the next 5 years.
And you had to sort of unlearn what you'd already learned. You know?
Yeah, he told me right away, oh, you're holding the slide bar wrong. Oh, you're doing this. Stop all that. Start over. So I really did. I spent the first 6 months just on tuning and how to play in tune. I'd slide up to a note, he'd say sharp. I'd slide back up there, and he'd say flat. And this went on for weeks and months until finally I could slide up, and he'd say good, 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 good. So yeah, he taught me right from the very beginning, and he played with an axle from a Honda motor scooter sliding on his instrument. And
wow.
after 4 years with him, he left. He went to America, and he met up with a guy. He said, I met this guy named Ry Cooder, and we made an album together called Meeting by the River. And for that, he won a Grammy Award, and at that point, he became well known to the West.
And the Indian music fuses so well with the blues because you're changing all the scales and just making it your own.
That's right. You have to bend the rules of the blues and Indian music to make it work, really, you know. But there are great similarities. There's some Indian ragas, which is a piece of Indian classical music, that sound just like the blues. To me, they sound just like the blues. So I take those ragas and I mix it really with an old blues song, and I come up with something that sounds, it sounds familiar, except very, very distant in a way, you know. It has the depth of Indian music, but it has the earthiness of blues.
Yeah, as you say, that Indian music is inwards and blues music is outwards.
Yeah, by and large it's like that. You know, Indian music is used in meditation and different kind of situations in the temples. But blues, you know, it's very grounding, it's very earthy, it's fun, it's deep, and it's also very old music coming from Africa.
Yeah, I watched your show, saw your set the other day. Wonderful stuff, and I love the fact that you're using an Australian rhythm section with Jeff Lang and Clayton Dolly and introducing people to like Jeff Lang as an awesome musician.
Oh, what a great player he is. Like, he's a real treasure to have here in Australia. And he, like me, he studied some Indian music, and he has a great passion for the blues, so we really speak the same language, and we're held together up there by the great keyboard playing of Clayton Dolly, who was in the Mighty Reapers and is well known in the blues scene here in Australia.
Yeah, an awesome musician. So as you tour the world playing the blues, how do you see the state of the blues and the future of the blues?
Well, I hope we can all keep it alive by adding something to it and making it, you know, keeping it popular with the generations to come. And it's the great thing about the blues is, it's kind of timeless. It's not like disposable music. It's not pop music that speaks only to a particular generation. It's music that's timeless and speaks to all ages at all times. You listen to Muddy Waters today, and it's as contemporary as anything out there. So hopefully we'll keep it alive like that.
Absolutely. Now, over this wonderful career you've had, I'm sure you've played with lots of people. Can you tell me your most memorable musical moment? Is there something that stood out over this career that you've been on stage with someone and...
Well, I got invited a few years back to a Bruce Springsteen tribute concert in New York City for the Guitar Festival. And I was out there playing my slide cigar box, and I looked down the front row, and Bruce is sitting there. I just about lost my stuff right there. I was getting scared. But, after I finished, he came back and said to me, I think I learned something new watching you play that tune. That was really good. He said, why don't you get up and play with a song with me after? So we got up and we played an old song. I can't even remember what it was. But there I was standing there, bruised out of my mind, thinking, well, this guy's really famous. But, he's a man of the earth, and in a way, he's a great blues player in his own way.
Awesome. Been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, Harry. Great to have you back in the country. Good luck for the rest of the festival, and just keep on giving us those blues.
Thanks, mate. There's an old saying that the blues isn't about feeling bad, it's about making other people feel bad. So we'll keep working on it.